Thanks for stopping by. A very special stream. I really wanted to start, if I had been slightly more prepared, I would have started by, you know, having my, I wanted to do this last time. I had really elaborate plans for like having sort of the backdrop of like a study, like a library study with maybe, well, not a library necessarily, but it would have a fireplace maybe. And I would like turn around from having my back turned. I would be like, I don't have a lot of room back here, so anyway, but I'd say like, oh hi, you've caught me in my study. I was just indulging in some Tears of Themis, my favorite Atome deck builder. Gotcha. Let's see here. Maybe I need to turn down the music ever so slightly. Sorry if it's a bit loud. Anyway, let's see. Let's get into this, shall we? I've yet to watch the actual birthday celebration. Most of this event has been, it's got like this story portion of it that you unlock gradually. It's time gated and also unlocked by doing these daily investigations, which are also time gated. Want to interview some of the block building contest participants. We'll get into it, but this entire event centers around a block building contest. These are like kind of like, okay, I don't know, they're like, it's like making art with blocks. Block building makes it sound kind of kiddish, and I guess maybe it is, but it's like a contest where they're like trying to recreate. It's kind of like maybe more like a Lego contest. Sure, yeah. They're using blocks to like recreate classic artwork. Okay. Oh, this guy's a streamer. Perfect. Let's speed this up. I have to rush back to the live stream. Live stream? Yeah, I am a block building live streamer. Oh, I see. What made you sign up for the contest? My fans insisted. They said I was so good at building blocks that it would be a shame not to join the contest. Fair enough. What do you think about the theme of the contest? Recreate classic masterpieces. I think I can win no matter what the theme is. I'm very confident. What do you usually live stream about? Lots of things. Building models with blocks, time trials against other streamers, with other block building streamers. My fans love to see me recreate portraits with building blocks the most. I can recreate any portraits. That's amazing. Sounds like incredible content. Have you heard of Z? Z, a popular streamer these days? I don't think I've seen that name on the charts. He's a famous artist. I see. If you had a chance to talk to Z, what would you say? To make things happen, regardless of what you do, you have to put in a lot of effort. I've been live streaming for 3 years non-stop. I believe Z is at least as consistent as me. You said you'd never heard of them. That's enough of that. Now let's walk through, because I also haven't even read most of these. I read the very first one, like just to kind of get a sense of what was going on, but the rest of them I kind of just clicked through to get the rewards, knowing that I would go back through them on stream. So anyway, we'll see here. Young lady, all the works in the Rembrandt exhibition are priceless and authentic. Your request is just... But he really is a very important friend of mine. Just like you, his most respected painter is Rembrandt. You recently found out that Marius' birthday is on June 21st. You have come to the Classical Art Gallery in Stellis to prepare a birthday surprise for Marius. The gallery will be holding a Rembrandt exhibition soon. As a public figure, if Marius suddenly shows up in an art exhibition, people will gather around him and things may get out of hand. That's right. So for those of you who are uninitiated, Marius is like, he's kind of the fuckboy of the of the four dudes that this game centers around. Not even. He that's just how he comes across at first. But he's a CEO of like a mega corporation, basically. He's a young, handsome CEO, but he's also an accomplished and like disciplined artist, like multidisciplined artist. And he just sort of, I don't know. When you first come across him, he definitely like is presented as I don't know, a bit of a piece, but you know, he has a bit of an arc. a constant arc. Yeah, you view him as a brat. Yeah, absolutely. That is probably his dominant trait. He has the most like kind of playful, like teasing relationship with the main character Rosa of any of the boys. But I don't know. I like Marius. I could kind of tell from the beginning. I was like, oh, let's see this heart of gold. Oh, he's not like the other CEOs, right? But I can't help it. I like all the guys. After confirming the venue, you open your notebook to check on the other things that need to be prepared. For the cake, I think I'll order a mousse cake with purple yam, but what kind of present should I get for him? A watch, a belt, a tie? Marius certainly doesn't lack any of these things. As you log into the shopping app, the featured item in the gift section catches your attention. Are these puzzle blocks? The product image shows a miniature metropolis assembled out of hundreds of blocks. Okay, you're suddenly reminded of something that happened at the Von Hagen estate. Oh yeah? Von Hagen estate, watch out! Gift boxes of different sizes fill the Von Hagen estate. You nearly trip over one. Luckily, Marius catches you in time. You're so clumsy, miss. Hey, you just have too many gifts around here. Tell me, is your birthday coming up? Is that why you've been bombarded with gifts? My birthday is still several weeks away, but those people just can't wait. Those people? Business contacts, family, friends, and celebrities. A lot of people want to please the Von Hagen family. That's Marius for you. His birthday catches the interest of everyone in Stellis. Marius giggles as he guesses what you are thinking. A little giggle from Marius. So you'll give me a present too, won't you? Marius, you're not exactly short on presents, are you? Well, yeah, of course I have tons of presents from other people. But from you... You pretend to cough after receiving Marius' hint. You turn around and catch sight of the thing that tripped you over earlier. It's a nicely wrapped puzzle block set with futuristic buildings on the cover. The words limited edition are clearly visible. I didn't know you were into puzzle blocks. Puzzle blocks are a type of building block toy which was invented by the Austin family. They've been a global hit since their release and currently have almost 100 years of history. A toy like this would not be here if it didn't match Marius' interests. I used to be. I guess someone must have remembered that old hobby of mine. However, I haven't built anything for a long time. Why? Marius hesitates. There's a hint of distress in his clear eyes. Did you put all these together? Marius takes you to a room on the second floor of the Von Hagen estate. It's filled with countless sets of block models. There's everything from colorful gardens to foreign streets and even a scale model of Stellis University. Amazing, it must have taken you a long time to build all these. You're really good at this, so why did you stop? Because. Marius walks over to the windows and falls into a brief silence. The sun's golden rays fall softly upon his profile, casting a dappled pattern of light and shadow. That's what we're here for, baby. That's the kind of writing we're here for. In a way, I can't help. I can't keep building things out of blocks anymore. What? Okay, anyway, what does that mean? My mother passed. Okay, I'm sorry for joking about it. My mother passed away when I was born. Marius talks slowly in a low voice. Suddenly, you regret asking him that question. I forgot about that. Don't force yourself if you don't want to talk about it. Everyone has secrets. It's okay, there are no secrets when I'm with you. Marius' tone of voice is indescribably soft and gentle, but you feel a twinge of pain in your chest. Although I lost my mother, my father and my brother love me very much. I never lacked anything compared to other people. In fact, I possess much more. But then one day I realized something. When I paint and when I build things out of these blocks, I'm always unable to create anything related to the theme of home. How could that be? Now that he's mentioned it, it's true that Z doesn't have any works of art that relate to the theme of home. Are you feeling sorry for me? I guess not being able to create home in art isn't so bad after all. At least it makes you feel for me. Marius Von Hagen. You pretend to look angry, but Marius' joke has lightened the atmosphere instantly. Come on now, don't be upset. Later on, I thought that maybe I'm unable to create something about home because I've never had a female figure in my childhood. If what? Nothing. He wants a mommy. If Marius likes building blocks, then I'll give him a building block set for his birthday present. Which set of building blocks should I choose? In In order to find the right set of blocks, you research the subject extensively on the internet. A news title catches your attention. It reads, "The first block building contest of Stella's City is fast approaching." The Future series is the legacy of Mr. Austin, the inventor of puzzle blocks. The series will be released for the first time, and there's only one set in the entire world. A forest hut, a floral greenhouse, and an open-air art studio facing the mountains. The prize is the future home. Looks like Marius will like this set of blocks. You can't help thinking about joining the contest. Then you are stunned by the next piece of news. Z will be judging the contest. Many fans have signed up. The Shepherd Girl may be the topic of the event. Marius is going. The main theme of the contest is recomposition of global art, which means to recreate famous paintings with building blocks. Z's paintings are very famous. It is not impossible that they could become the topic of the contest. Do you think Rosa will main character this like in Artem's, where she and Artem win the line reading thing and she writes the best movie review? Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah. It was funny to me, like kind of how similar the setups were to the Artem one, which was the only one that I've participated in so far. If he really is judging for the contest, he'll find out if I join, then I won't be able to surprise him. But is Marius really going to show up as Z? Although it may just be a story created by the organizer to grab attention, you decide to call Marius to find out just in case. Hello? It's me. What's up? Are you in trouble? No, have you heard about the building blocks contest next month? I heard that Z will be a judge in it. That's just a rumor. The organizers probably leaked the fake story to get attention. Why are you suddenly asking me this? Are you going to sign up? I can give you free lessons. If Marius is not going, then having him coach me is indeed the most efficient way to get started. Really? Yeah. Of course, I'll always have time for you, and from now on, Z will probably fade out slowly. Oh. Is it because of PAX? You voice your suspicion. On the other end of the phone, Marius lets out a soft sigh. Yeah, juggling between PAX and study has taken up too much of my time, and my life will only get more and more complicated after I graduate. For an artist, an environment like that can be fatal to creativity, so the fatigue in Marius' tone is evident. Marius, if you're tired, you can stop and take a break. You don't have to keep doing weekend streams, Marius. I'm afraid no one will give me time to rest. Before becoming Z, I was already Marius von Hagen of PAX. After you hang up, Marius' words still linger in your mind. Many people are fans of Z. Can he really give up so easily? Yeah, there will be many fans of Z participating in the block building contest. Why don't I record the things they want to say to Z and give it to Marius? That's sweet. Okay, so that's okay. Yeah. So that's kind of what I missed that when I was tapping through this initially, like to kind of get the gist of it. But that's part of why we're asking people about their thoughts about Marius, his alter ego, Z. Even if he won't be able to continue creating art, words of encouragement from his fans can be a nice memento. That night, you submit the application form for the contest and send the interview request to the organizer. After your application is approved, a list of contestants and their contact details is sent to your email. Now I'll practice block building and collect people's encouragement for Z in interviews. Okay, next, connect these parts together. Right, that's it. Having decided to win the contest, improving your skill quickly becomes your biggest problem. Luckily, you have a block building master, Marius, with you. Now add the last piece, and the girl with a pearl earring is done. Under Marius' guidance, you complete your first building block creation in your life. How amazing! I've only seen this painting on the internet. I never thought it could be recreated with building blocks. That's what makes block building so much fun. With enough pieces, the possibilities of creation are infinite. The entire world is under the creator's control. I'm in total control! But it's still really hard for people without fundamental knowledge to recreate such complicated painting, isn't it? The topic of the contest is decided by the organizer. You need to restore the painting in as little time as possible. Will I really be able to do it as a beginner? Don't worry, I have an idea. Marius ponders, leans over, and puts an arm around you from behind. He signals for you to look at the work that you just finished. His soft hair brushes against the side of your face and neck, giving you butterflies in your stomach. Restoring a painting with building blocks is not very different from recreating a painting with a brush. The first and most important step is to find the shape. The Girl with the Pearl Earring by Vermeer is colorful and has a simple composition. It's very well suited for beginners. After forming the shape, the next step is to mark out the different areas with colored blocks and deconstruct the painting step by step. In the afternoon sun, Marius' voice rings out clearly next to your ear, together with the light fragrance in the air. It makes you feel dreamy. Marius uses painting as an analogy and teaches you a lot of tricks in building with blocks. As you already have some basic knowledge in drawing, you're already starting to get the hang of it by sunset. However, understanding the theory is just the beginning. To be able to create art, the most important thing other than talent is practice. It's funny how like all of the guys are almost like, they're all like Rosa's like mentors in various like disciplines and stuff. It feels like they all sort of like, she learns like various things from all of them. And Rosa is like hella talented at this point. She honestly like does it all. The only thing she didn't learn from the dudes, or like, not the only thing, but it like, but she did show up Marius with guitar. Like, he did not teach her guitar, but it is just funny. Like, I don't know, they're all like kind of, you know, they have their own like, how elitist. No, I didn't mean it like that. But I'm just saying, she's absorbed so many different skills through it. She's learning about psychology with like Vin, and through Marius she learns about all different kinds of art. Artem is like, you know, definitely her like mentor in like the legal realm. Although he learns a lot from her in other ways. And then I don't know, Luke, I haven't really done much of the individual like stories of the guys. The one that I really have started in on a bit is like Luke's, where they're like, I don't know, I guess Luke does kind of like relate a lot of like kind of like detective stuff and like stuff from like his from his like special agent training. Anyway, I'm just saying that Rosa is like fucking built now. She is a force to be reckoned with. She's leveled up many different like skill trees. Let me give you some homework, and I'll check it every day. That's not necessary, is it? She's just draining these guys for their knowledge. Yeah, exactly. She will dry hump their withered husks to ascend to the next realm. Exactly. Yeah, there you go, Scalding. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you for pulling the words out of me so eloquently. Yeah, exactly. No, she's like a vampire of sorts. No. I love this headcanon, but it is like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it kind of makes sense that it would come up a lot as like a vehicle for various stories. Is like, oh, like, you know, they'll bond over this thing, or like, you know, one of them will have something to teach the other. But it is just kind of funny how it's like, damn, Rosa is like developing a lot of different skills already. You just said that you'd practice hard. Okay, fine. For some reason, you can't say no to Marius once he starts pouting. Just as you expected, as soon as Marius smiles, your heart begins to pound with joy. It's a deal. Remember, that's every day. Since then, you make time to practice block building every day. You take pictures and send them to Marius. With his coaching, your block building technique improves. You are now able to restore simple paintings. Sending messages to Marius daily has become a habit. I wish I could quit you, Marius. There are so many people here. A few days later, after another block building lesson, you walk past an event in the shopping mall when you and Marius are leaving the classroom. As the contest is fast approaching, there's been a block building boom in Stellus. Complete a piece of work here to redeem limited edition blocks. That looks fun. We can give it a try if you're interested. The volunteers enthusiastically guide you to sit down at the outdoor workbench, which has all kinds of blocks placed upon it. Miss, are you joining this event with your boyfriend? Our prize today is the Lover's Heart series designed by Mr. Austin himself. The Lover's Heart series. Do you know about it? Yeah, Mr. Austin is the inventor of puzzle blocks, so I've heard. I've collected every set of his works. The Lover's Heart is one of his later works. From the individual pieces to the entire set in a whole, everything in this set is heart-shaped. Sounds kind of corny. The concept is ingenious and absolutely unique. Okay, I stand corrected. After all, he's got the talent. You're very familiar with it. You must be a hobbyist. Indeed, The Lover's Heart is one of Mr. Austin's most famous works. At the time, it even sparked interest from non-hobbyists as well. The volunteer speaks with great admiration. She then explains the rules of the event to you. This event is actually part of the prologue for the block building contest. You can redeem a set of Lover's Heart blocks with any original work submitted. There are castles, planes, teddy bears. People are so talented. A lot of heart-shaped blocks. Doesn't sound particularly practical. You just remind me there's a Nirvana song called Heart-Shaped Box, and now I'm hearing it as heart-shaped blocks. Seeing the mass of people building with blocks, you let out a gasp of admiration. Gasp! Marius, what should we build? Marius ponders briefly and quickly comes up with an idea. He picks out the pieces he needs from the pile. What are you gonna build? It's a secret. Marius winks at you, turning over the workbench, turns over to the workbench and focuses on building. As he works magic with his fingers, his skillful movements attract many onlookers. This looks familiar. A small doll made out of puzzle blocks is gradually taking shape in Marius' hands. The doll's expression and outfit look just like, "That's me?" As Marius finishes his creation, you can faintly hear the onlookers whispering to each other. Oh my gosh, that's so romantic. He built a figure of his girlfriend. Oh my god, he's so handsome and talented. The hot ones are never mine. You weren't even looking at me, so how did... The image is in my heart. I don't need to look at you to make this. Marius? Hearing his answer, you realize you've spoken your thoughts out loud. Your face instantly goes bright red. Marius hands you the figure that he'd built with a smile. I finished. It's your turn now. Don't worry, just remember what I've told you before. Sorry. Half an hour later, you hold out a doll that barely looks like a person. You apologize awkwardly. It's okay, it's not a big deal. At least this way, I won't have to worry about getting jealous. Of your talent? I mean, it's okay to not have a doll. You have me, and that's enough. Oh, wait, what? Jealous of the doll? Okay, Marius. After all, sometimes I even feel jealous of myself. Of Z, you mean? Of your alter ego? Thanks to Marius' work, you managed to redeem the Lover's Heart. Even though Marius says he doesn't mind, you can't help but sense he's hiding a little disappointment. Wow, really? Well, we got carried. Let me add this last piece. Okay, done. Since then, you practice block building even harder than before. Before the day of the contest, you're finally able to build a doll out of blocks. You're glad Marius isn't a narcissist? No. Nothing could be further from the truth. The doll in your hand looks quite similar to Marius. It has the same cheeky expression. I wonder how Marius would react when he sees this. Is it a little chibi version? The image is in my heart. I don't need to look at you to make this. As you recall what Marius said that day, you find yourself blushing for some reason. So that's what he meant. Now that I've built it, I'll give the doll to him on his birthday. I'm so nervous. The day of the contest has arrived. Your block building skill has improved a lot. You still can't help but feel nervous at the contest, and yet you were shocked when you find out about the topic. Birthday by Mark Chagall. Yeah, a few days ago you were practicing building blocks at home. So sleepy. I can't sleep. There's only a few more days until the contest. Outside your window, the moon is high up in the sky. You resist your urge to sleep and open the homework Marius gave you. During this time, you've restored many world-famous paintings by following block building drills. She's fucking training hard every day. Birthday by Chagall expresses the artist's passionate inner world with surreal images, as well as his infinite love for his wife. Indeed, the artist's strong personal emotions can be clearly felt when looking at this painting. You look at that painting and you're like, this is a wife guy. You quietly read the painting's biography aloud. Just as you finish, your phone rings. You automatically press the answer button upon seeing who's calling. It's Senpai. It's teacher. Good evening. Did you get your homework? Yes, Mr. Von Hagen. You're very responsible. Unaccustomed to hearing you call him Mr. Von Hagen, Marius coughs awkwardly. You can't help but grin at having managed to successfully tease him. Actually, yes, about this homework, Marius is acting strange tonight. In your impression, he rarely hesitates. As you wonder, a thought suddenly crosses your mind. Is Marius actually reminding you of his birthday, reminding you to finish homework? Reminding you to finish homework? I know, I'll finish my homework diligently, Mr. Von Hagen. I was just joking. You just want to remind me that it's your birthday, right? I've made arrangements already. Really? I look forward to your surprise. What a coincidence. The topic of today's contest is also birthday. Recalling the process of how you deconstructed the paintings before, you begin to work fluidly. While the others are still assembling and disassembling their work, you press the finish button. Press the slay button. The prize for the 3rd place goes to Zan. Oh, shit. I kind of thought this was going to be a build-up to us getting first. Yay! The contest is over and you won the 3rd prize, the future home. To keep the surprise, you lie to Marius about the result when he calls you on the phone. It keeps Rosa more relatable if she doesn't win first. I'll tell him on his birthday. Marius would love this present. Okay. Yeah. The time has fucking come. Here we fucking go, y'all. Can I open my eyes now? Hold on, wait a second. On his birthday, you arrange to meet Marius at the Classical Art Gallery. Before he enters the gallery, you cover his eyes with a piece of black cloth. Oh my god, the blocks. They're so cute. Happy birthday. Inside the gallery, light falls gently through the domed ceiling. The shining lantern lights collide gently against one another, making a pleasant sound. Yeah, the little Marius and Rosa blocks, they're adorable, I gotta say. I don't know, they're like little Funko Pops or something. Rembrandt's classic paintings are hung up in the hall. You remove the black cloth and watch as Marius' face lights up with surprise and delight. Are these authentic Rembrandt paintings? I thought the Rembrandt exhibition is supposed to be held in Stellis next month. It'll be too late for your birthday by then. So I asked the gallery owner for the opportunity to visit in advance. You walk quietly towards the corner of the room and take out a wrapped gift box. You wave the box at Marius. Today's your birthday. Why don't you guess what's inside? Is this a birthday present for me? Yep. But if you get it wrong 3 times, you need to promise to let me make a wish. Okay. I heard that your promise will come true if you make a wish to the birthday boy. Okay. Marius smiles gently and agrees. He purses his lips and thinks seriously. I don't know. I really can't guess what it is. After 3 wrong guesses, Marius shakes his head, seeing the petulant look on his face. You smile and hand the gift over to him. Marius weighs the box and shakes it next to his ear, looking confused. Puzzle blocks. It's obvious when I think about it. Let me guess which set this is. Touching the black and gold gift wrap, Marius gently unties the ribbon and is stunned when he sees the gift. The future home, designed by Austin himself. His face is filled with surprise and joy. When he's happy, he really looks like a child. I've collected all the works of Austin except for this one, the last set he designed. This is not for sale. I've tried many different ways. Who would have thought? Yeah, all you have to do is win a fucking contest, Marius. Get good. Marius fiddles his hands on the building blocks. I see, so someone won the prize and lied to me about it. I was just trying to surprise you. Maybe Marius could never hope to win it because he's like, I would never be able to get 3rd place. I would only ever be able to win first. You explain in a soft voice, then you take out the doll and the notebook you've prepared. Other than the future home, I've also prepared other gifts, but before that, I want to make the wish that you owed me. What's your wish? I will try my best to fulfill your wish. Really, so you put your hands together and close your eyes sincerely, as if making a wish to a deity. I wish for Marius to never lose his dream of being a painter and for him to never have any regrets from now on. I wish that he will always love art and his creativity will almost stay pure? Almost? Okay, well that's realistic. That's realistic, Rosa, but that's a funny choice of word for me. This is what you've been wanting to tell Marius. You also wrote these down on the front page of your notebook. She wants him to paint lewd pictures of her specifically, so almost pure. I see. No, okay, all right, no scalding. Actually, that totally makes sense. You look up and see that Marius is looking at you too. You notice the emotion and vulnerability deep in his eyes. Marius closes his eyes briefly. When he opens them again, he's back to his usual playful self. What are you doing? Marius walks up behind you. He takes hold of your hand and picks up the paintbrush with you. I think your wish is working. I feel inspired already. You feel the warmth of his breath on your neck, followed by a burst of laughter. Lush green mountains and quaint huts. A sketch gradually appears in front of you. This is home. This is what it's like to chew 5 gum. Yes. Marius, you... When the painting is finished, Marius, holding your hand, signs Z at the bottom right corner of the canvas. The painting has distinct layers, revealing a sense of sweetness and warmth. You said you're not good at creating homes, so how? It's all thanks to you. Marius leads you to sit on the bench to look at the painting in front of you. When you made the wish, I suddenly realized the answer I'd been looking for all these years. My life seemed perfect, but there's a hole in it. It made me unable to understand the definition of home. The dictionary, Webster's dictionary defines home as... Your existence fills that emptiness in my heart. Because of your care and encouragement, I can now feel the meaning of a home. Marius. So thank you. Inside the hall, it's so quiet that you can almost hear each other's heartbeats. No one has ever done that for me. Don't worry, I don't think it'll take long for Z to start making art again. And this time, it'll be a brand new theme. Oh shit! Honestly, it low-key does scare me when that happens on my actual phone. It's like, whoa, wait, what? It's just my primal fear of getting a phone call.
今天很开心，因为你，这是我度过的最难忘的生日。
I had a great day because of you. It was the best birthday ever.
我在画室，刚才突然来了灵感，正在画画呢。
Me, I'm in the studio.
沉寂数月，画家 Z 新作曝光，怎么样？这个新闻标题很不错吧？
The latest work from artist Z.
至于画作的主
Okay,
题
anyway.
嘛，暂时是秘密。
As for the topic, I'll keep it a secret for now.
好了，说出来也没关系，但是只能告诉你一个人。
All right then, it won't hurt to tell you about it.
以家为主题创作一幅画。
I want to create a painting based on the theme of home. No advanced skills or fancy colors. Fancy colors. Pshaw.
它是一幅只看一眼便能让人感受到幸福
So
和
it'll
满
be a
足
piece
的
of
画
work that will make people happy at first sight.
就
Oh,
像我现在的心情。
just like what I'm feeling now.
那说好了，等画作完成的那天，
It's a deal
我们在
then.
一起
We'll
看。
look at it together when it's
到
done.
时
I'll
候
tell you about my
我会
creative
把这幅画的
process.
创作过程完整的讲给你听。
Cute. Okay. I think we're ready to start the story for this card. I'm excited. Let's watch that opening one more time, y'all. It happens so fast. Let's just relive it, you know?
我希望能与你携手而行，共。
What did I expect? Always nice to relive it. Is it gonna happen every time? I wonder. I'm gonna press my luck.
我希望能与你携手而行，共赴繁华。
Hey, we got it this time. All right. Let's get into it.
最近网上热议的那个帖子，你有看吗？
Hey, have you read the post that's been going viral lately? Do you mean the legend about Semper Augustus tulips?
对，看来你对娱乐新闻的敏感度
What a great like first guess when someone comes up to you and they're like, have you seen the viral post that's going around? And you immediately leap to, oh, the one about Semper Augustus tulips. Of course, like, I mean, maybe they just know that they frequent the same subreddits. You're pretty up to date with this stuff. I just skimmed through it when I was free.
我倒是把相关
I
的帖
read
子都
all the
看了一
posts
遍。
about it.
传说奥古斯都郁金香是
Semper
17世纪的
Augustus
神
tulip
话，
is a myth
有
from the
幸看到它
17th
盛开的
century.
人都认为它是奇迹，就如阿弗洛狄特一样引人遐想。
People who were lucky enough to see it in bloom thought it a living wonder, as seductive as Aphrodite. They say if a couple can grow Semper Augustus tulips together, then they will be blessed by the goddess Aphrodite. Fascinating. But I heard that the Semper Augustus has nearly gone extinct since the 17th century.
是这样没错，
Right, but there are
但是有
rumors
小道消
that
息
some
透露，
rich people still
有些
own
富
Semper
豪手
Augustus
上
bulbs.
还留有一
We
些
know
奥
one
古
of
斯
them.
都郁金香的种球。
I know a rich people. Really?
骗你干嘛？
Why would I make
虽
this
然
up?
问题
Though
是
in
目前
Stellus,
真正能
there's
将奥
only
古斯都
one
郁金香
foreigner
种
who
植
can
的，
actually grow
只有一
Semper
位外国
Augustus.
人。
Only one? Who is it? I think his name was something beginning with L. Oh, it's Leicester. Okay. The tea leaves unfold in the hot water. Holding the teacup in her hand, Kiki breathes a long sigh. Mr. Leicester is quite a character. His family has hundreds of years of flower cultivation history. They're really famous in the circle. They caused a stir when they moved to Stellis 20 years ago. I wonder why they've gone so low profile in recent years. Maybe something happened. Well, I have no idea about that. Fortunately, the Leicesters' love for flowers never changed. While they were keeping a low profile, they co-authored a guide to growing Semper Augustus, based on their own experience. The guide contains some key tips for growing Semper Augustus. You take a sip of coffee and look at Kiki in amazement. I'm fucking amazed. This book must mean a great deal to them. Someone once offered to buy the book at a high price. I'll buy it at a high price. But Mr. Leicester refused to sell it. He's become quite eccentric since his retirement. Some say crazy. He shut off his Iderson garden from the world. No one is allowed inside except a few special persons. Special persons? What special persons? Basically, these are people he has specially selected. Okay. Each year, Mr. Leicester would use some strange methods to decide who will be allowed to visit the place. This year, he's holding an online event themed around finding the beauty of Semper Augustus. Rosa loves a good event. She loves to learn a new skill to dominate an event. Participants have to fill in their personal details, then use whichever method best suits them to portray the beauty of these flowers. The ones who win this competition will be the special persons for this year. Not only do they get to visit Iderson Garden, they'll also have the chance to obtain a guide to growing Semper Augustus. So is the event already over? It was over ages ago. A total of 6 people won and received invitations for Mr. Leicester. I envy them. I want to see the legendary Semper Augustus too. The lunch break passes quickly. You and Kiki finish chatting and return to your desks with your tea. Rumors about the Semper Augustus get pushed to the back of your mind as work keeps you busy. In the evening, you and Kiki head over to the CBD area for supper. While waiting for your order to be served, you happen to think of that rumor again. Ooh. Isn't Iderson Garden in Long Beach District? Yeah, why? Kiki has her chin on her hand and looks at you curiously. I suddenly remembered that I'm heading to Long Beach on Saturday to meet a client. I wonder if... while you're explaining to Kiki, someone interrupts your conversation. Ooh, what are you two chatting about? Marius, what are you doing here? Having supper too? Yeah, I was feeling hungry after finishing a business meeting in the area. This noodle shop seemed pretty popular, so I came over. I didn't expect to see you guys here. Mind if I join your table? You and Kiki immediately shake your heads. Not at all. Have a seat. Marius pulls out a chair and sits down beside you, then places his order with the waiter behind the counter. I'll have a bowl of beef noodles, please. The waiter writes down Marius' order and says that it'll be a short wait. Marius nods, then looks at you and Kiki. Right. So I overheard you two talking about Iderson Garden. Oh, you've read about it as well? It's been all over the internet lately. It's pretty hard not to see anything about it. It's true, so do you think the rumors are accurate? To some extent, yes. Seeing the mysterious look on Marius' face, you and Kiki prick up your ears. You have some insider information, don't you? Ooh, yeah, I'm super curious. Marius looks at you two smugly with an easy grin on his face. But before he can say anything, Kiki suddenly exclaims in dismay. She points glumly at her phone screen. Celestine is looking for me. You guys carry on, I gotta go. Wait, what about your noodles? What about your noodles? Just help me eat them. Right then, the noodles you and Kiki ordered arrive. Marius smiles mischievously as he winks at you. I'm so hungry, but my order isn't here yet. You wouldn't make me starve, would you? You sigh and push Kiki's noodles over to him. Here.
谢
Thank
谢。
you. He's so happy. Marius picks up the chopsticks happily, blows the steam off the noodles, then continues with his earlier
之
topic.
所以说
The
有
reason I
一定的
said
可信度，
it's true to some
是因为
extent
我们陆家
is
也
because
有
my
少量
family
奥古
also
斯
has a
多
small
一金
number
相
of
补球。
Semper Augustus bulbs. So you must have tried growing them before.
只可惜，无论是
Yeah,
父亲还是
but
哥
my
哥和
father,
我，
my
都无
brother,
法
and
将
I
其
all
种活。
failed to grow them successfully. Marius sighs regretfully. The rising steam gently obscures the soft look in his eyes. Oh, the soft boy look.
有生之年，
If
若
I
能
could
亲
see
眼
the
看到
Semper
奥古斯多
Augustus
一
with
金
my
向
own
盛
eyes
开，
someday, I think I would
应
be
该会
really
很幸
happy.
福吧？
I think I would be really happy. I'm just trying to fill that hole with something. Your hand holding the chopsticks pauses briefly, and you smile in agreement. Yeah. Maybe it was the mysteriousness of the rumor or the softly longing look in Marius' eyes. But every night, ever since night's supper, the Semper Augustus tulip has lingered in your mind. Next act. On Saturday, after seeing your client at Long Beach, you pass by Iderson Garden and can't help but stop and observe. Iderson Garden is a classic old mansion located in Long Beach's Victorian district. The flowers in full bloom. The trees cast a cool shade, blocking out the scorching heat of summer. How grand. How grand indeed. You walk towards the entrance slowly, then after long hesitation, you finally ring the doorbell. 2 minutes later, a butler dressed in a tuxedo, I'm assuming. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that
你好，
one.
小姐，请问有什么
Hello,
能
miss.
帮
How
到
may I
你
help
吗？
you? I hope this is a combat butler. That's one of my favorite anime tropes, is when there's a butler who's like highly trained in martial combat. And like when they are like stacked with like a bunch of weapons and stuff. I don't know, that's great. Cordial smile on his face as he speaks in a formal tone. You can't help but speak extra politely. My apologies for the intrusion. I heard that Mr. Leicester is an expert on flowers, particularly the Semper Augustus. I have a friend who likes the Semper Augustus very much. I would like to learn about its cultivation from Mr. Leicester. May I go in and visit him?
抱歉，小姐，
My
先
apologies,
生
miss.
吩咐过，爱德森
Mr.
养老花
Leicester's
园只
instructions
接
are
待
that
特
only
殊的
special
贵宾。
visitors must be
我
received.
需要先
May
核
be
对您的
received.
身份
Need to verify your identity first.
请问
May
您
I
邀
ask if
请
you
函
have an
吗？
invitation? Invitation, is that the thing Kiki mentioned previously? You hesitate for a moment, then shake your head rather dejectedly. I don't. The butler's smile remains the same as he bows
那
respectfully.
就十分抱歉了
I'm，terribly sorry. I
无法擅自
cannot
放
let
你
you
进
in,
去。
so please
请
return.
回吧。
The two of you look at each other through the gate. The butler is still smiling with not a single change in his expression. All right. You cast a reluctant glance at the mansion behind him. Just then, a car pulls up slowly behind you. You turn and glance into the car window, only to see Marius smiling at you from the driver's seat.
好
What a
巧啊！
coincidence. You didn't expect to see him here. It takes you a few moments to recover from your surprise. You're not here for a guide to growing Semper Augustus, are you?
算是吧。
Something like that. Marius opens the door and comes over to you, smiling like a smug little fox.
准确的说，是为了完成一个小任务。
Well, it's more like I'm here on a small errand. What kind of errand would require you to come out here yourself?
秘密。
It's a secret.
你呢？又是为什么出现在
What
这
about
里？
you? What are you doing here? Seeing his pleased expression, you bite back the answer you were about to give and tell a little lie instead. Ooh. I was just curious and wanted to look around. So
原
that's
来
the
是这
reason.
样啊！
You were
刚才看
pacing
你在
back
门
and
口
forth for
徘徊了
quite a
许
while
久，
earlier.
不如我们一起进去吧。
So why don't we go in together? He takes out an invitation from his wallet and hands it to the butler who's been standing by the door. Hello, my friend and I would like to visit Mr. Leicester. I wonder if he's free to meet us today. The butler examines the invitation carefully, then
您
nods.
在我们的
You
接
are
待范
welcome
围
to。come in, but this
只
lady,
是这位
this
小姐
lady. I dealt with her earlier. The butler frowns, looking indecisive. Why don't you go in first? It's a rare opportunity. I'm fine. I'll just wait till next time. Before you can finish, Marius suddenly takes hold of your hand. He gives you a mischievous wink. Come on, game. Come on. But his voice is low and reassuring. I kind of like mischievous is kind of funny. I'll give you that. All right. Look, I get it, Hoyo. You've had a lot on your plate. Your various plates, which you've also been spinning. Take your time. It's okay. You don't need to rush these out. For God's sakes, run spell check. He clears his throat and looks solemnly at the butler. Could you please pass on this message to Mr. Leicester? Please tell him the son of Miss Leicester's old friend, Karenina? Karenina Orin? I'm gonna go with Karenina. Is here to visit him with a friend. I hope we're not disturbing him. All right, they got some history. This time, the butler agrees right away. Certainly, please wait for a moment. Part of the fantasy of Marius is like, just the, like, he has like access to all kinds of things because of his like, his status in society, his wealth. It's not just wealth though, it's like his connections and stuff, but that's kind of like part of, I don't know. It's a recurring theme when you're with Marius is that like you're you know, going places that you could only go with him. A few minutes later, the butler comes out of the house again. Mr. Leicester would like you both to come in. That's what I fucking thought. You exchange a look with Marius. It's wonderful, thank you. I can't believe that Mr. Leicester would break his own rules. Miss Leicester and my mother were bosom friends, and Mr. Leicester loves his wife very much. Happy wife, happy life. Probably broke the rules for her sake. Marius puts an arm around your shoulder. Come on, let's go. The two of you follow the butler through the marble path and up the stairs to the front doors of Iderson Gardens. The elegant white doors are quite unique. There's a vintage charm in the patterns carved onto the wooden columns. The butler opens the door for you and politely gestures to invite you in. Mr. Leicester has been waiting for you. I'm impressed that they voiced the butler, considering they didn't even feel the need to put a blank silhouette of him. Like, you know, normally when there's a person talking, they'll show like, even if they don't want to render them, they'll show like a blank silhouette just to be like, oh, there's a person here. This butler, they voiced him, but he's kind of like a mysterious, just like disembodied voice. You follow Marius into the hall. As you step onto the cashmere rug, the sight before your eyes seems almost surreal. The oil paintings on the wall are clearly arranged amidst the interwoven light and shadow. It feels as though they're there to tell visitors about a rich and varied history. A closer look reveals that the paintings are all depicting the same theme of coronation. By this throne of thorns and the blade in my hand, light will bring an end to this eternal night. I bestow upon you the crown of honor. You stop in front of a painting and find yourself reading its inscription out loud. Marius stands next to you. He has a hand on his chin and seems captivated by the painting. The crown of honor. I am curious about the setup for this. For how, you know, how we get to the image on the card. With the Artem one, I feel like it was a little more obvious up front. Like they very early on like set up like that they were, you know, they were going to be doing Othello and stuff. And with this one, it's just kind of like what are we doing here? The goddess crowning the emperor in this painting looks like you in both her figure and her air. Come on. While you're both immersed in the paintings, a voice suddenly brings you back to reality. Back to life, back to reality. If I'm not mistaken, you're also here for a guide to growing Semper Augustus, aren't you? You and Marius look toward the source of the voice to see several people standing together near the wall. Okay, yeah. Seeing the visitors at the other end of the hall distracts you from the paintings and brings you back to reality. You are seeing the confusion on both your faces. A capable-looking woman introduces herself to you. My name is Lorelei Irving. I'm a flower merchant, just like him. Hi, I'm Adam Glass. And these are... Adam smiles and gestures to the two dapper young men behind him. If you're familiar with the collector's market, I'm sure you'd recognize them. The twin collectors, Rod and Kenton Highland. Okay, wow, we're getting a lot of names here. All right, I'll do my best to keep up. And he pauses as his eyes stop at the last girl, who greets you passionately. Nice to meet you, I'm Phoebe Fulton, a history student at Stellus University. All right. Hello, I'm Zan, and this is my friend. You're not sure if Marius wants to reveal his identity, so you admit his name. I'm Marius von Hagen. Seems like we have a lot of competitors. Okay, Kenton. Upon hearing Marius' name, the other people's expressions change. They start murmuring quietly and meaningfully
两
amongst
位也是
themselves.
收到邀请函后才来的
Are
吗
you？ both here on invitation as well? Well, my situation's a little complicated. You're a little uneasy about not having an invitation. Thankfully, Marius speaks up to distract
我
them.
收到了邀请函，
You got an
有什么问
invitation.
题
Is
吗
there a problem?
没什么，只是刚刚我们几个人闲聊的时候，
No, we were just
发现
chatting
收到邀
earlier
请
and
函的
realized that
人
everyone who
似
received
乎
an
都是6月
invitation
21
seems to
号
be
出
born
生
on
的，
June 21st. Oh, okay.
所以我们在
Interesting.
想，这会不会也是获胜的条件之一？
We were wondering if this might be one of the criteria for winning.
毕竟你应该也知道的吧，那场活动参加的人可是不
As
计
you
其数
probably
呢。
know, the event had no limit on the number of participants.
哦，
I was
我
also
确
born on
实
June 21st.
这么说，
Does that
我们
mean
的
we
猜
might
测有
actually
可能
be
是对
onto
的。
something? This does feel like the start of like a murder mystery or something. Is that really one of the conditions? Then, I do not have a June 21st birthday. Yeah, it's nice that they give you the option to also, claim that right. Even if I had taken part in the selection event, there's no way I could have become one of the winners who got an invitation. Besides, I didn't even take part in the first place. Assuming their hypothesis is correct, I wonder why Mr. Leicester chose this particular date. Does June 21st have some kind of special meaning to him? You puzzle over the situation. In the meantime, Mr. Leicester has finished his work and sends the butler to invite all of you into the study. See, this is the kind of study where I would be sitting down like reading a book or something, and I would be like, or no, I'd be tapping on my phone. That would be a modern update to the cliched image. I'd be tapping on my phone and I'd be like, oh, hi, sorry, I didn't see you there. I was playing my favorite Otome game. Hey, here's the mysterious Mr. Leicester. My apologies for the long wait. Please have a seat, everyone. When you are all seated, the butler pours each of you a cup of tea. Mr. Leicester leans back on the sofa, observing the micro-expressions on everyone's face as he chats with them.
我知道，你们都是为了
That
奥
came-
古斯
that
都
was a
一
funny
箱
line
种
to
植
me.
手记而来。网上的
I
传
think it
闻
wouldn't have been so
想必
funny
你
if they
也
had
看
just
到
gone with like expressions as opposed to micro expressions. It comes across a little more like I don't know. I don't know what it comes across more like a young person wrote it, a young person who just watched the show Lie to Me or something, and they're like, oh, he's studying them. He's studying their micro expressions. I know you all came for a guide to growing Semper Augustus. I'm sure you've also seen the rumors on the internet.
这本手记是我与爱
I'm sure,
妻毕
and also
生的
I'm sure that was
事
just a kind of a translation
对我来说
issue, but yeah,
第一
yeah. For my wife and I, this book is our life's work. It is an extraordinary of extraordinary importance to us.
无论
To
如
me.
何，我都不想轻
To
易
me.
将其赠与他人。
She doesn't care so much to me. Regardless of what happens, I do not wish to give it away for just any reason. So you can tell me why you wish to have this book. He pushes his golden framed glasses a little higher. His deep blue gaze calmly sweeps over everyone present. His naturally imposing aura causes the whole room to instantly fall silent. Time ticks by slowly. Marius finally breaks the suffocating silence. He meets Mr. Leicester's gaze with composure, and his tone is both polite and sincere.
在我很小的时候，
When I was
有幸
little, I
从
was
别人的
fortunate
话里
enough to
看到
see
过奥古
Semper
斯都已
Augustus
经像，
tulips in a painting.
它如跳动的
It
火
was
焰
as，brilliant and
绚烂
enchanting as a
耀眼
dancing flame.
让我
I
无
could
法
not
离
look
开目
away. A
光
little。bit of a pyromaniac?
后来，通过多方
Honestly,
面
I
的了
could see
解，
it.
我得知奥古斯都郁金香还被赋予着特别的含义。
Later on, after I learned about it from various sources, I found out that the Semper Augustus also holds a special meaning. Legend says that if two people could plant the Semper Augustus together, they would receive the blessing of the goddess Aphrodite. You would receive boons from Aphrodite. At this, Marius casts a glance at you. Thus, I would like to personally give my blessings to the person I cherish. I see. I feel like we're motivated by similar reasons. Oh? Can you tell me how they're similar? Marius turns to look at you. You feel your ears heating up under his gaze. I actually also read about the Semper Augustus legend on the internet. Yeah, it went viral recently, if you didn't see. And I happen to have a very good friend who likes it. He's always taken good care for me, so I wanted to give him a surprise. I'm assuming they meant good care of me. I don't know. Maybe it works that way too. Unfortunately, as you don't have an invitation, you're not qualified to compete, even though you've come to this place. Your voice gets quieter and quieter as you speak. Marius suddenly leans closer while everyone watches. There's a playfully teasing smile in his eyes. You feel his warm breath fall lightly against your cheek. It's you. You answer frankly. Marius is stunned for a moment, then happiness emanates from his entire being.
谢谢，得有如此三生
Oh,
有幸。
I'm truly fortunate to have you as my friend. It is so cute when he says it. You don't need to thank me. I'm lucky to have you as my friend too. You take a sip of your tea and look around at everyone. That is why I would like to get a guide to growing Semper Augustus.
哎，两位果然
You
都
know,
是
people
年
are so
轻人，
energetic and full of
有朝气，
ideas.
有
I'm too
想法。
old to be romantic.
哪像我呀，老了，根本浪漫不起来。想得到手迹呢，也
I
不
want
过
to
是
get the
希望
book so
在
that I
种
can
植出奥古斯
cultivate
都
these
郁金香
tulips
后
on
进
an
行大规模的繁
industrial
育。
scale. You heartless piece of shit, Adam Glass. This is why Mr. Leicester is being so
就该发
so
挥出它
guarding.
最大的
It's
经济
it's
价
because
值
of people like
不
you.
然被埋没了多可惜啊！
Since it's a
你说是不
rare
是啊，
commodity,
张总？
its monetary value should be fully utilized. It'd be such a pity to just let that go to waste. Don't you agree, Miss Irving? I should hope that she does not.
老东西，你自
Oh
己
wait,
见
hold
解
on.
开，
Lorelai
让
is
我干嘛？
British? Okay. Oi! Don't make me out to be the same kind of money grabber as you. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to my British viewers and my British streaming friends. I will never do that again. Lorelai Irving crosses her arms defensively upon being singled out.
我跟你可不一样。
I'm not like you, okay?
作
I
为一个
can't
花
do
卉
a
商
British
人，
accent.
我
As
只
a
是单
flower
纯
merchant,
的
I
不
just
希
don't
望
want
如
this
此
rare
优美
and
的
beautiful
花卉品
species
种
to
这
disappear
次用
forever.
谁信啊？
Who's gonna buy that? Adam Glass looks around slyly, then grins at Ron and Kenton Highland.
那你们俩呢？
What about you two? As collectors, we
身
naturally
为
wish
收
to
藏
expand
家
our，collection of
自
rare
然希望自
items.
己橱柜里珍惜的物品越……
只有我们
Besides,
兄
only
弟这
high
样的上流
society
社会
people
人
like us are
才
worthy
配
of
上
something
高
as
贵优雅
noble
的
and
奥古斯
elegant
都
as
一
the
起。
Semper Augustus. Okay. That's way too presumptuous, isn't it? There are maybe that's a very kind word for it. You are so astounded by the collector's confidence that you find yourself quite lost for words. Mr. Leicester rubs the ring on his finger, his expression never changing.
你们的理由我都知道了。
I have understood your reasons. He stands up and walks over to the window, facing away from you all. My wife and I initially had no wish to pass our book to others.
奈何我们
However,
膝下
as we
无
have
子
no children,
百年之
this
后
book will be
手
lost
机就
after
要
we
失
pass
传
away.
我们不想让奥古
We
斯
don't
都
want the
与金
Semper
像彻底
Augustus to
变成
fade
传说，
entirely into a
只存在
legend
于
that
别
only
人的记忆
exists in people's memories.
思来想去，我们
After
决
much
定把它送给
consideration,
一
we
位
decided
经
to
过我们
choose
挑
someone
选
who
的
truly loves the
真正
Semper
热爱奥
Augustus
古
to be the
斯的
recipient
女
of this
性。
book.
至于这位幸运儿是谁，
As for who
需要
that
你们几
fortunate
位
person
主
will
题
be,
活动
that
的
will be
入围者
decided after you
共
all
同
play
来
a
玩一
game
个
for
竞
me.
技游
Okay,
戏。
all right. It's getting a little sinister. A game? So this is how you wish to choose the recipient of a guide to growing Semper
没
Augustus.
错，如果你们觉得麻烦，不愿接受挑战，
Indeed, you are free to withdraw if you find it too much trouble. It's just like, okay, it's just, I don't know. You got me a little nervous with the mention of a game. Like, I don't know. We don't die if we lose, do we? Like, I gotta ask. When you rich people want to play games, you know, I gotta ask. What an unexpected turn of events. You and Marius look at each other, and he lets out a light chuckle. Interesting.
虽然不知道是什么游
Although I
戏，
don't know what this
但我
game
愿意
will
接受
be, I'm willing to take the challenge. Yeah, maybe you want to know what it is first. Maybe he's gonna say... Maybe it will be some sort of sick, like, Saw-esque challenge. Marius is the same as you've always known him, never backing down when faced with a challenge. You give him an approving thumbs up. He rubs the back of his head and gives you a soft smile in response. With the temptation of a guide to growing Semper Augustus, and with Marius taking the lead, everyone else agrees to take part in this sick, twisted, rich man's game. The butler hands Mr. Leicester a notebook. He clears his throat and begins explaining the rules of the game.
郁金香除了象征爱的祝福，
Aside from being a
还代
symbol
表
of
着
love's
独特的
blessings,
领袖
tulips
权
also
利与
represent
荣
the
誉
unique
的
power
王
of
冠。
leadership and the crown of honor.
游戏
Thus, you will be playing the king game. Okay. Okay. Like Crusader Kings? Mr. Leicester instructs the butler to hand everyone a rules card. You and Marius receive your cards and begin to read
国
carefully.
王的命
The
令是
king's
绝对
command
的。
is absolute. The
游戏
winner will
获
become
胜
the
的
real
玩家
king and
将
be
成为真
crowned
正的
by the
国王
witness.
由见证。游戏开始
When
时，
the game
所有
starts,
玩家
everyone
抽
will
取
draw
扑
a
克牌，
poker
抽
card.
到
The
鬼
one who
牌
gets
的
the
玩家为
joker
国王
will be the
可以
king,
命
who
令
gets to
其他
order
玩
the
家
others
去
to
执行
perform
任务。
certain tasks. These rules seem a little different from what's on the internet. Oh, have you played this game before? King game, the drinking game? Perfect.
不算是玩过。
Not really, I've just seen an introduction to it.
确实，它
You're
的
right.
任务类
Look,
型
the
已经限定
tasks
好
have
了。
already been decided. Lorelei suddenly cuts in. She sounds very familiar with this king game.
第一，要一次性喝下5杯白
Oh my
兰地，
god,
并
yeah,
正确
it
地回
is.
答出一道计
No
算题。
kidding. Task 1, drink 5 glasses of brandy and solve a math
第
problem.
二，根据
Task
图
2,
案在
build
有
the
限的
given
时间内
patterns
拼
with
插积
building
木。
blocks within a limited time.
第三，1分钟
Task
内
3,
将20
complete a
张碎片
20-piece
拼成
jigsaw
完整的
puzzle
画
to。form a picture in 1 minute. There's also a bunch of horror manga centering on the king game. Oh wow, interesting. Players who fail or quit will be automatically disqualified. The winners will enter the next round. You feel a little worried as you read the rules. The tasks may not be challenging, but your opponent's strengths are unknown.
所以在排除掉运气的情况下，
Not accounting for luck, the most important thing is whether you can complete the tasks. Marius looks down and reads the rules again.
当所有
When
玩
all
家执
players
行
have
完任
completed
务，
their
则
tasks,
重新抽牌
everyone
确定
draws
下一
again
轮
to
的
decide
国
on the next
直环
king.
往
This
复
will repeat until
直到场
only
上只剩
until
最后
only
一
one
人
player
玩家。
remains.
该玩家需要在2把剑中选出权力之剑，选错则代表全军覆灭，
Okay.
游戏结束，无人获胜。
The winner needs to pick the sword of power out of 2 swords. Choose wrong, then no one wins. The game is over.
选对，
Choose correctly, and the winner becomes the true king, and the crown of honor will be
由
given
见证
by the
者为他
witness.
戴上荣
Okay.
誉的皇冠。
All right. I mean, I think I see where this is going. I definitely do. It's like, are they gonna subvert our expectations? Because like the card involves Marius being crowned king. It's like, is there? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. He pauses at that, looking thoughtful. It's not always about,
客厅里
you
有几
know,
幅
seeing
油
what
画，
happens. It's
画
about,
面
you
的
know,
内
how
容
they
是
get
皇
there.
冠加冕，
But
与这个游戏有关吗？
I remember seeing a few oil paintings in the hall about coronations. Are they related to this
没
game?
错，你们现在所看到的游戏规则是先祖根据当时流
Yes,
行
the
的国
current
王游
game's
戏改
rules were
编而来
adapted by my ancestor from the King game, which was popular back then. Back in the time of kings,
它主要用于挑选莱斯特
it
家
was
族的
mainly
继
used
承
for
者。
choosing the Leicester
是我们家族的
family
传统。
successors. This is our family tradition.
先祖当年也是从某场
They're
类
a
似于国
family
王
of
游戏的
gamers.
竞争
What can I
中脱
say?
颖而出，才有了
My
今日的
ancestor
莱斯特家族。
won a game similar to the King game, which is how the Leicester family started. Okay.
因此，我们对这个
The game
游
is
戏
very
可以说
important to us
非常
because of
重
that.
视。
I would like for you
我
all to
要求各位
wear
换上具有莱
costumes
斯特
and
家族特
okay,
征
all
的
right. I
服饰
see
进行
costumes in the
游戏。
Leicester family's style while taking part in the game. Okay, all right. Mr. Leicester goes over to the walk-in wardrobe and pulls the curtain open.
哇，天哪！
My goodness, there are dozens of sets of fancy costumes in the cloakroom. The participants can't help but gasping in surprise.
虽然这个要求有
Though
点
this
奇怪，
request is a little strange.
但为了奥古斯都郁金香
For
手
the
记，
sake of a guide to
尊重一
growing
下大家
Semper
族的
Augustus,
传
I am
统。
fine
我
with
没什么不
following
可以
your
的。
family tradition.
我也一样。
Same here.
你们看那几套，像不
Look
像
at
欧
these.
洲
Aren't
贵
they
族
just
的
like
礼
the
服？
clothes worn by European nobility? Phoebe, being a young woman still in university, can't help but look delighted at the sight of beautiful clothes. Her mood also reflects the others, and they become less reluctant to put on the costumes.
你们可以挑选一套自己
You
喜
may all
欢的
choose a
服装。
costume that suits your liking.
至于
As
这
for
位
this
小
lady
姐，
here, Mr. Leicester's gaze falls on you, and his tone becomes gentler.
就请你换上
May I
代表莱
request
斯
for
特
you to
家
wear
族
the
女
costume
神的
of
华服，
Leicester's
为这场竞争
patron
当一下
patron
见证人。
goddess, Leicester family's patron goddess, and be this game's a witness. Okay. Oh, why me? You expected that Mr. Leicester would refuse to let you join the game, but this is an unexpected arrangement.
或许是缘分吧。
Perhaps it is
你
fate,
的
but
气
something in
质
your air
与
is
第
very
一任
similar
莱
to
斯
that
特
of
家族女神伊米卡纳
Yumikana,
十分相似。
the first goddess of the Leicester family. I probably didn't get that right, but is it really all right for me to play such an important role? Just as you start worrying about whether you can do the job, Marius gently takes hold of your hand.
我觉得你挺合适
I
的。
think you're a pretty good fit. There was a soft look in his eyes, and a smile lifts the corners of his lips.
见证人会为最
The
终优
witness will
胜者
crown the
戴上
final
荣誉的
winner
皇
with the
冠。
crown of honors.
我会
So,
努力
and
赢
he's
下这场游
definitely
戏。
planning on winning it.
请你相信我。
I will try my best to win the
你相信
game.
我。
Please have faith in me and have faith in yourself. Persuaded by Marius, you agree to Mr. Leicester's request. Okay, I'll try. I look forward to personally placing the crown of honor on you later. Okay, 10 minutes later, everyone's finished changing their clothes. You all follow Mr. Leicester to the parlor. Ooh. Marius has chosen a royal uniform in black and white with a military style. The outfit is very well tailored and designed. Its emerald green buttons and golden embellishments give it a grand and elegant feel. Marius' background has already blessed him with a distinguished air. As that is now accentuated by his costume, he easily becomes the focus of everyone's attention. The belle of the ball. He looks very handsome. Marius notices that you have been staring at him for some time. His mouth curves into a smile and he walks over. His impressive height makes it feel like he's gazing down at you from above. It's impossible to hide from his piercing stare.
这一身怎么样？与你想象中的王族形象
Well, look, does it match your idea of royalty? I love Rose's expressions. Her like little pouty face and stuff, and her like annoyed face are just like like I said, she adds as much to the game as any of the guys. Like, he looks even better than royalty, but since he's asking, you decide to look him over from head to toe. You then pretend to be thinking hard. Not bad. The costume looks great.
什么？
Why is the costume the only thing that looks great? Oh, his face. Why?
姐姐，难道我在你心里
Miss, am I
竟
not
然还不如
even
一
as
件
good
衣
as a
服吗？
costume to you? I was just teasing you. You look handsome, very handsome.
我就说嘛
I knew you'd like this look.
这个造型
As Marius speaks, he places his hand on your shoulder and carefully fixes the slightly displaced lace.
你的这一身也很美啊。
You look very beautiful in this costume as well, even more beautiful than the witness in the painting. At such close proximity, you feel like you're surrounded by him. Your vision lands right on his elegant jawline and the slight bump of his Adam's apple. Okay. Perhaps because the two of you are being too affectionate, you suddenly hear an "Oh my" from Lorelei. Now that I'm looking more closely, these clothes make the two of you look like... What is it again? Oh, a newly crowned king and a beautiful queen. You flatter me. Marius lets go of you. At the same time, the butler and the servants have finished setting up the game hall. Mr. Leicester takes a good look at you and then smiles.
我的眼光果然不
I
错。
was right. You look very
你和
similar to the
伊米卡纳
statue of
女神
goddess
像极了。
Imikana. Gestures for everyone to look at the oil paintings on the wall.
当年
Back
先祖
then, when
取
my
得胜
ancestor
利，
won the game,
是伊米
it was the
卡纳女
goddess
神为他
Imikana
加
who
冕。
crowned him. The pictures on the wall depict the process of the
旁边
coronation
备注了仪
ceremony.
式的注意事
These
项、
inscriptions
加冕
contain
词
notes about the
以及见
ceremony,
证
the
人与
coronation
国王的
speech,
对
and the
话。
dialogue between the witness and the king.
如果今日能够产
If
生
we have a
国王
winner
游
from
戏的
today's
胜利
game,
者，
we'll
我
carry
们就
out
会
the
严
same
格执
coronation
行这一加
ceremony. It's very formal.
在你们眼里，
For
这
you,
可
this
能
may
只
be
是
a
一场
game,
游
but for
戏
the Leicester
但
family,
它
it
对
has a
莱斯特
significant
家族
meaning.
而言意义是。
我能理解，
I understand. Marius looks at the paintings on the wall with
一个大
admiration.
家族能经久
For a
不衰
great
地发展到
family to
现在，
endure this long, there must be a lot of
势必需要
beliefs and
坚守的东
traditions
西。
that they adhere to.
没错，
That's right. Mr. Leicester opens the small box they've prepared in advance and takes out the deck of playing
游
cards.
戏即将开始，
The game is
你
about to
们都到这边来
begin.
吧。
Come this way. Everyone gathers around the table and Mr. Leicester reads out the rules of the game once
都听
again.
明白了吗？
Is everyone ready? Ready to get wasted?
哦，明白了。
Yes.
我们也 OK。
We're clear.
哎，我都快
I
背熟
almost
了
knew。it by heart now. Lorelei and Adam nod in agreement.
好，
Very
那么
well.
游
Let
戏
us
正式
begin.
开始。
Good luck, everyone. Mr. Leicester skillfully shuffles the cards and lets the players pick a card one by
好
one.
紧张，
I'm so
我以为我
nervous.
抽到鬼牌
Please
吧
let me get the Joker. Phoebe's hands are trembling. She sneaks a peek at her card.
Ah,
No,
不是
it's not the
鬼牌
Joker. I have the worst
我的
luck.
晕。
The room becomes more tense as Phoebe wails in dismay. You look at Marius anxiously. Is it the Joker?
不是
No. Oh no, then this round
没关系，虽
doesn't
然有
matter.
点
It's
出师
not the
不利
perfect，start, but it doesn't
但
mean
这
you'll
并不意
lose.
味着我会失去胜利。
Doesn't matter. It's not the perfect start, but it doesn't mean I'll lose. Just as everyone is trying to deduce who has drawn the Joker, Kenton reveals the
鬼牌
answer.
在我这儿。
Okay, it's Kenton. Okay, it's Kenton. Okay, he smiles triumphantly as if he's already certain of
现
victory.
在
Now the king
国
shall
王
start
开始
assigning
分
the
配任务
tasks.
红桃 A 和红桃6执行任务。
Ace and 6 of hearts. Drink 5 glasses of brandy in one go and answer a math problem.
红桃2和红桃3执行
2 and
任务。
3 of hearts. Build
根据
the
图案
designated
在
patterns
有
with
限的
blocks
时间
within
内
the
将
given
积木
time.
拼插完整。红桃4和红桃5执行任
4
务。
and 5 of
1分
hearts.
钟内
Complete a
将
20-piece
20张碎片拼成完整
jigsaw
的
puzzle
画
in 1 minute. After the tasks have been assigned, Kenton reveals his other card.
红桃四，
4 of hearts.
Yes.
Kenton snaps his fingers in excitement. You can't help feeling anxious for Marius. Marius, being artistic, is good with colors and images. The puzzle task should be easiest for him. Please give Marius the 5 of hearts. As if Marius could hear the voice in your head, he calmly shows his
我的
card.
是红桃2，
Mine
接
is
受
2
任务。
of hearts. I accept the task. Sire. Oh, you discovered while preparing for Marius' birthday that block building is a hobby he has had since young. But there's only a limited amount of time for this task. You can't help but feel worried for him. Under Mr. Leicester's instruction, everyone else reveals their cards one by one. Phoebe got the ace of hearts. She's too drunk after 5 glasses of brandy and gets disqualified immediately. Adam, who has drawn the 6 of hearts, also has to down 5 glasses of brandy. He's a little tipsy, but manages to correctly solve the math problem and proceed to the next round. Ron has the 3 of hearts. He fails to complete the pattern with building blocks. He's fucking out of here. Kenton and Lorelei have the 4 and 5 of hearts respectively. Their tasks are relatively simple, so they both pass. As for Marius, you get so nervous that your palms begin to sweat. You look at him, trying not to let your anxiety affect him. Come on, you can
承
do it.
蒙你的信任，
Thank you
接
for your
下来
trust.
交给我就好了。
Leave the rest to me. Under everyone's gaze, Marius's fingers fly over the blocks as he assembles them. The design he needs to build is a small castle. It's usually not that hard, as anyone can do it if they pay attention to the details. But with a 5-minute time limit, the difficulty is several times higher.
他
It's
速
going
度
so
好快
fast, my eyes couldn't
我
keep
刚
up
才
when he
组
was
装的时
doing
候
it.
眼睛都快瞎了。
When I was doing it,
根本
I
分不
couldn't
出哪
figure out
块
what
该装
was
在
where
哪
at
里。
all. Don't praise your opponent, it only diminishes your own confidence.
没事，
Really?
反正最后赢的一定是你。
It's fine, you're going to win anyway. Don't
话可
speak
不
too
要说。
soon. The clock ticks away and Mr. Leicester rings the bell. As Mr. Leicester counts down to 7, Marius inserts the last block into the groove perfectly.
好了，
Done. He pushes the finished castle to the center of the round
你
table.
们检查一下和图片上的
Please
是
check
否一
whether
样。
it's the same as the picture. Judge, after everyone has scrutinized the castle from all angles, they can't help but be amazed.
真的，一模一样。
It's exactly the same.
厉害。
Wow, how did you do it?
一点运气，
A
加
little
几个
luck,
小技巧
a，little skill, and a lot of talent.
太强了吧！
Amazing.
过奖。
You're too kind.
我宣布，
I now
陆景
announce that
和
Marius
执
has
行任务
completed his task. Awesome. We're one step closer to getting a guide to growing Semper Augustus. You were so thrilled that you give Marius a high five.
果然，只
I
要你
knew it.
在
As
身
long
边
as you were with me,
我
my
不
luck
管是
and
实力
ability
还是
will
运气
both get，
都能猛
multiplied.
翻几倍。
It's a hell of a buff. In 20 minutes, they've done 2 more rounds. Lorelei and Adam are eliminated for failing their tasks. The game is now down to the final round with only Kenton and Marius left.
我越来越好奇，谁是今天的幸运儿了。
I'm getting more and more curious about who will be the lucky one today. Mr. Leicester spreads 3 cards on the table. Marius and Kenton both take one. The rest of you watch excitedly. Did you get the Joker, baby?
你觉得呢？
What do you think? I hope you get the Joker. You answer immediately, and Marius gives you a doting smile.
如你所
It
愿。
is as you wish. He reveals his Joker. His voice is deep and
国
powerful.
王的命令是
The
绝对的。
king's command is absolute.
红桃2执行任务。
2 of
根据
hearts
图案
assemble
在
the
有限
building
的时
blocks
间
into the
内
designated
拼插
pattern within the given time.
红桃 A 执行任务。
Ace of hearts.
一次性
Drink
喝下
5
5杯白
glasses
兰
of
地，
brandy in
并
one
正
go
确地
and
回答
answer
出
a
一道
math
计算
problem
题。
correctly. Marius grins confidently and spins his other card against the table. He flips the card over to reveal a bright red ace of hearts. Cold sweat appears on Kenton's forehead as he reveals his card. 2 of hearts. I am not going to lose. I will be the last king.
最后的锅。
Well, let's see about that. Mr. Leicester asks Kenton to draw a diagram out from the dark box. He gets a vintage tugboat. Mr. Leicester orders the butler to bring over a box of building blocks.
河川，
Kenton, are you
你准
ready?
备好了？
Kenton inhales deeply, take a big hit of copium, and rolls up his sleeves. Okay, I'm ready.
我准备好。
那么倒计时
The
正
countdown
式开始。
begins. Right away, Kenton categorizes all the blocks on the table neatly. Having learned from Marius, he starts from the bottom section. Started from the bottom section, now we hear. However, he's not a block building hobbyist, and he rarely does this. His movements are slower than Marius. After 3 minutes, he only manages to complete half the boat. Looks like Kenton is imitating the way you assembled the blocks.
但是
Yes,
这
but at
个
this
速度
rate, you won't be able
还
to
是无法
finish
在
the
5
whole
分钟
model
内
in
把
5
图完
minutes. You already knew you're the only person who can complete the task, didn't you?
还
You
真
really
的
do know
有
me well. Marius laughs happily. That's right.
我特意记
I
下了
memorized the
3张牌的位置
locations of the 3
就是想
cards
把
so I can
拼
give
插
him
积木这个
the building
分配
block
开
task. Counting cards? While you're whispering to each other, Ron, who's standing in the corner, suddenly yells at Kenton.
快点儿，时间来不及了。
You're moving slow as a snail. Can you please shut up? Kenton was in a good state of mind until Ron started pushing him. Now he's completely flustered. In his panic, he fails to find the right block for one spot, even after multiple attempts. Yeah, when the countdown ends, his task also ends in failure.
本回执行任务失
The
败，
task was failed.
鹤川出
Kenton
局。
Highland, you are out. Mr. Leicester shakes his head regrettably, then pours 5 glasses of brandy for Marius.
看你的了。
Now it's your turn. Drink up, bitch. Okay. Marius gracefully picks up one of the glasses, and you immediately grab his arms. Are you really okay?
放心，
Don't worry,
我可是千杯
I've
不醉。
never gotten drunk. Okay, well, maybe you should live a little, Marius.
再者，就算
Besides,
真
even if
醉
I
了
do get drunk,
我也
I
会
would
顶
still
着
answer the
最后一丝
question with
意
my
识
last
回答出
trace
问
of
题。
consciousness. He swirls the glass gently with his lips against the edge of the glass. He slightly lifts his head and pours the brandy into his mouth. I've never gotten drunk. Okay, buddy. First glass. Marius shows the emptied glass to everyone, then goes on to finish the other 4 glasses in one go. It, like, honestly, I haven't gotten, like, truly drunk in, like, a long time. Like, truly, like, shit-faced. Like, not blacked out, but, you know, kind of the stage before blacked out. It's been a long time. I'm very reasonable with my drinking anymore. Like, I only ever kind of, like, I kind of live in the tipsy zone, like, basically. If I start to feel more than that, I stop drinking. Like, but, I don't know. I just like being, you know, slightly lubricated. Anyway. He takes the napkin from the butler and lightly wipes his lips. His eyes are as clear as usual. How are you feeling? Brandy is quite a strong spirit. Marius drank all of it so quickly that it'll probably make him feel awful later.
没事，
I'm fine. Marius' face is slightly flushed. He gives you a reassuring smile and turns to Mr. Leicester. I hope he does get drunk. I hope he actually does get drunk. That he's all like, I never get drunk. But then he's like, I don't know. He's fucking red-faced and and just jabbering by the end of this.
可以开始答题了吗？
Shall we begin the math question? Mr. Leicester randomly picks a mental calculation math problem from his notebook.
175乘以40，
How much is 175 times 40 plus 2,099? Please answer in 5 seconds.
9999。
9,999? Marius gets the answer at the very last second. Mr. Leicester closes the book and announces the
恭喜你。
results. Congratulations, your answer is correct. Seriously, did he just win?
你错了，还有最后一关。
No, there's one more
不
around.
信，
I don't believe he'll be so
每次每次都
lucky every time. The game is over, but to become the king, one needs to complete the final sword selection ceremony. Mr. Leicester asks his servants to bring over the 2 swords.
这两者之中，
One of these
有
is
一
the
把
sword
是
of
杀戮之
killing,
剑，
and the other
有
one
一
is the
把
sword
是
of
权力
power.
之剑。只有选对权力之剑，
Only by
才
choosing
能
the
成为
sword
这
of
场
power
游
can
戏
you
的
become
最
the
终
ultimate
优胜者。
victor. In other words, Marius has a 50% chance of winning.
可
Thanks,
是这
Rosa.
两把剑的剑
But
柄
these two
和
swords
剑
look
鞘一模
exactly
一
the
样。
same from their handles to their
这怎么区分
sheaths. How
出
can
来？
anyone tell? Because you have to be of royal blood.
纯靠运气。
没错，
Of course, a peasant like you would think that that it's determined by luck, but no, it is fated. It is written. Mr. Leicester asks the butler to bring over the crown. The golden crown is embedded with all kinds of dazzling gemstones and pearls. All the sorts of things you would expect to see in an episode of Steven Universe. It glitters and sparkles in the light.
皇冠已
The
备，
crown is ready.
请
Please
做
make
出
your
你
choice.
看来这次
I guess it really comes down to luck this time round. You gotta believe. Marius strides over. His gaze wanders between the 2 swords, and he seems a little hesitant.
唐总，
Miss Irving, do you think it's the left or the right?
右边吧。
The right one. It's obviously the left one. Hearing their murmurs, Marius looks back and smiles at you. You answer his smile with a steady look. Marius is an artist and can notice counterfeits, right? Yeah, you had confidence it wasn't 50-50. Totally, yeah, totally. You answer his smile with a steady look. Don't be nervous, no matter what the result is. To me, you are the only king today. Aww. Right. That honestly just occurred to me, but that is Marius's, that's his code name, is king. Yeah. Marius' eyes flash. Thank you, I won't let you down. He composes himself, turns around, and pulls out the sword on the right without hesitation. Light reflects brightly off of the thin blade. You notice a single word carved upon it. Throne? As you read it aloud, Mr. Leicester announces the final result. Congratulations, you are the final victor today. You are undoubtedly the king of this game. He won. In the end, he won.
哎呀，真是好运气啊！
He's so lucky. Fucking die mad about it. The contestants chatter amongst themselves in envy and discontent. However, the result cannot be changed. Next, it's time for the coronation. Ascending the spiral staircase, Mr. Leicester takes you to a room with a red carpet. At one end, there's a half-meter tall platform. Several servants dressed in costumes are standing respectfully along both sides of the red carpet. Still remember the coronation ceremony process, don't you? Yes. Both you and Marius paid close attention earlier when Mr. Leicester was explaining about the paintings and the vows.
过目难忘。
It's unforgettable. That is good to hear. As he speaks, Mr. Leicester guides you up the stairs onto the raised platform. As you come to the center of the platform, the crystal chandelier above suddenly lights up. The butler comes and stands to your side, respectfully holding the crown. You look back and see Marius gazing at you from the base of the stairs. Everyone's eyes are focused on him. They all seem to be holding their breaths, not daring to make a sound. Mr. Leicester takes a deep breath and makes a gesture with his hand. You may begin. So it's finally time to begin. The ceremonial music starts playing, and the butler hands you the crown. Its weight represents the solemnity of the ceremony. Solemn vibes, everyone. Solemn vibes. Marius holds the sword of power in his hands and steps onto the red carpet, slowly coming closer to where you stand. Those shoes. His every step follows the tempo of the music and carries an air of lofty authority. He is silently proclaiming to everyone that he is the king of the world! I'm the king of the world! By this throne of thorns and the blade in my hand, light will bring an end to this eternal night. I bestow upon you the crown of honor. Somehow, seeing Marius' serious face, you suddenly think of this quote from the coronation painting. Just then, Marius ascends the stairs to the platform and the music reaches its climax. The servants, following behind Marius, begin to cheer. Is that the sound of a bell? The solemn sound seems to be part of the music, yet it also seems like it's coming from somewhere far away. What is that rustling and fluttering sound? Are there doves flying into the sky? Perhaps they're here to bring blessings as the church bells ring. It's as though you have been transported to an ancient church, steeped in the solemnity of history. And though the sun's glorious rays have pierced into its hallowed halls, white petals flutter through the air that is filled with the music of hymns. I'm sorry, but Marius is the only hymn I care about. As though the sound of bells have resonated across time, crossing from ancient history into the present day, the man, followed by his subjects, comes to a stop before you. He gets down on one knee. His eyes are deep and focused as he gazes at you. His expression softens into a tender and graceful smile. There's something I forgot to tell you just now. What? You feel compelled to answer him in a whisper. Bewitched by his gaze, you see yourself reflected in his eyes. You look utterly lovely in this black dress. You are my goth GF. When I saw you come out of the changing room, I told myself that I must win the game and let you put the crown of honor on me. He holds the sword in his right hand and lightly closes his eyes. My honorable witness, please grant me the ultimate glory and power. That's right. It's time for you to say the coronation oath, the oath that carries the honor of many generations. You take a deep breath and you speak in a steady voice. Do you promise solemnly, that you will rule this land as its king with reverence in your heart? You will bestow glory and power upon
我
him.
愿庄严承诺。
Bet. Will you be kind, follow the teachings of God, and do your best to protect the peace of this land?
我愿意。
I will. The old paintings appear in your mind, one after the other, as though they are actually a vision from the gods. They are guiding the two of you to cross the river of time and ascend the summit. However, this is not the most important thing. Divine providence has summoned Marius to the throne. Glory and power are not the most important thing. God bless the king and long live the king. The most important thing is that he remains safe and happy his whole life.
愿天佑。
God bless you. Marius keeps his head lowered, his posture is mild and humble, and his hair falls softly over his brow. Such hair. You raise the crown in your hand and place it carefully upon his head. The music stops and Marius suddenly opens his eyes. He takes your right hand and presses a tender kiss against it. He gazes at you and he speaks the last line of the
我
oath.
将以掌中利剑，
I will use the sword in my hands to defend justice and peace and ensure that
让公道和
fairness
怜
and
悯
compassion prevail.
取得胜利。
And then everyone stood up and clapped. As soon as he finishes, there's a warm round of applause, followed by a flash of white light.
完美的仪式。
The ceremony is perfect. Mr. Leicester comes over to you as he applauds. Is the ceremony over? Marius' warmth still lingers on the back of your hand. You find yourself rather distracted. So you were not actually in a church just now. Correct. It turns out that those were all figments of your imagination.
是的。
Wow, okay,
仪式
yeah.
完成了你们做得很好。
She was really transported. Yes, the ceremony is finished. You've done a great job.
见证者，
My witness,
女神伊米
Goddess
卡纳。
Imikana, thank you for your
感谢你。
blessing. Marius stands up, and you see the butler behind him carrying a camera. So the white light that pulled you back to reality was a camera flash.
我们再拍几张照片吧。
Rosa, she's normally so
你们保
level-headed,
持
and
现在的姿势就好。
but every once in a while, she's, you know, prone to these flights of fantasy. Let's take a few more photos now. Let's just stay where you are. Okay. Under Miss Leicester's direction, the butler takes a few more photos of you and Marius. You look at Marius and you subconsciously reach out to hold his hand. From ancient history to present day, from illusion to reality, you know he's the only truth that'll always be with you. Oh shit, there's one more, right? Okay, one more. After the game is over, Mr. Leicester asks the butler to escort the other contestants out. Only you and Marius remain.
我的妻子很想见你们一面。
My wife would very much like to meet you,
莱斯特夫人。
Miss Leicester.
哦，巧了，
What a coincidence. I was also
也打
hoping
算
to
在
meet
游
her
戏
after
结束后
the,
去
visit
拜
her
访。
after the game.
她在后花园，走吧。
She's
我
in the
带你
back
过去。
garden. Let's go. I'll take you there. Oh yeah. It rained the night before, so the garden grounds are a little muddy. This is like a backdrop that was available to, you could acquire it somehow. I think it might have been for cash money. Two of you follow Mr. Leicester across the garden. There's a faint scent of grass in the air. Dew lingers upon the rosebuds, which are accompanied by purple irises. The flowers are new buds, just beginning to emerge amidst the bramble bushes. The scene is tranquil and beautiful. This is beautiful. There's so many varieties here that I can't even name some of these plants.
能将一个小型花园打
It's
理
not
成
easy
现
to
在
manage
这
a
样，
garden like this, is it?
应该很不容易。
My wife planted most of the flowers in the garden.
从最初的一片
It took us
荒
more than
芜
20 years
到
to
现在
turn
的
this
万紫
barren
千
patch of
红，
land into the
我
vibrant
们花
garden
了
it is
20
today.
多年的时间。
That's amazing. Miss Leicester must be a very kind person with great attention to detail. Such a queen. She is indeed. You follow Mr. Leicester down some steps. A gust of wind blows past your face and your shawl catches on some thorns. Oh shit. This is so cute. I love this image of Rosa. Oh my god. You slip and fall forward, unable to catch yourself. Just when you thought you were gonna fall down the steps, Marius quickly holds on to you.
小心，
Look out. Your head bumps into his chest and he lets out a low grunt. God gave me the crown of honor, but who would have thought that the wind would also send my queen into my arms? Marius holds you even tighter. You lift your face from his chest. What are you talking about? Who are you calling your
除
queen?
了你，
Who else can it be except for you? Marius
刚才
smiles.
加冕时我就一
I've
直
been
在
thinking
想
about，something since the
如果我
ceremony.
的身
If
处
we
那
really
样
lived in an age like that, and I really took the
真的
throne, I hope I would be able to walk hand in hand with you towards a prosperous nation. If that really happens someday, I will supervise you and make sure you become a good king. Before that, can you help me see whether my shawl is snagged on something? Oh, it is. After you've regained your balance, Marius looks over your
你的披
shoulder.
肩好像
I
缠
think
在
your
荆棘
shawl is
丛
caught
里
on the bramble bush. That's why I felt something pulling me backwards. The shawl hasn't ripped, has it? These clothes are so exquisite. I'd feel bad if I damaged them.
似乎没有。
Seems fine.
你
Stay
先站
still
着
for a
别
moment
乱
and
动
don't move. I'll
我
help
帮
you
你
check. You do as he says. Your body is tense and stiff. Marius goes around to see what has happened. There's your
有些
problem.
紧
There's your problem
Well,
right there. It's rather tightly snagged. I'll help you get it out. With a crack, Marius breaks the thorny branch and carefully frees your shawl. Done. Thank you. Marius hums in reply and helps you fix your clothes back to their previous state. Miss Leicester, who is nearby, happens to see this. What's she got to say? Look at the two of them, so
你看这
fond
俩
of each
孩子。
other. Not like us. She gestures to her husband. I'm just kidding. She raises a wheelchair. Oh no, I'm mixing up these sentences. She's sitting in a wheelchair with a book in her lap. She raises her gaze and looks tenderly at Mr. Leicester. Just like when we were young. But you were not as handsome as Marius when you were young.
你年轻时
But you were just as beautiful as the young lady. In this awkward atmosphere, you walk over with Marius. Madam, I heard that you wanted to see
是
me.
的，我
So I
想
wanted
见
to, I wanted to see you. I want to see
我想见见严明的
Karenina's
孩子。
child.
恰好
And I
我也
happen
有
to
个
have
疑
a
惑
question for
想
you,
请
Mr.
教
and Miss
先生和夫
Leicester.
人。
你是今天的胜利者，
You were the winner
就
today.
由
You,
你先
you
来
may
提
ask
问
a
吧。
question.
先生之前提到过，
Mr. Leicester
他与
mentioned
您
earlier that
希
the
望
two
能将
of
种
you
植
wish
手
to
迹
give
交给
the
一位
book to
真正热
someone
爱
who
奥古
truly
斯都
loves
郁
the
金香的
Semper
人，
Augustus.
也是基于这个原
That
因。
is why you held the
才有了
event,
之前
right?
没错，
Yes.
但刚刚我得知
But
了
I
一件
found out
事，
about something earlier.
本次活动的
Contestants
参
for
与
this
者
event seem
似
to
乎都
all
是6
have
月21号
been
出
born
生的，
June 21st. Right.
这是某种巧
Is that
合，
merely a coincidence or
还
was
是
it
二
an
位有意为
intentional
之？
choice? And that kind of was one of the things that gave it a sinister air. It's like, what are they?
这
Yeah.
个
What are their plans here? Miss Leicester seems to be thinking of something in the past. She casts a sad look at Mr. Leicester. Mr. Leicester places his hands tenderly upon her shoulders and can't help but sigh heavily.
这事说来话长。我们曾经有一个孩子，
It's a long story. We once had a child who was born on June
出生
21st. Unfortunately, he passed away as soon as he was born.
夫人一直心怀
My
歉
wife has always felt a
觉
lot
得
of
是自
guilt
己的
over
过
it.
错酿
She
成了
thinks
这
that it
场
was
悲
her
剧，
fault, but because of
因
that,
此郁郁寡欢。
she's been in low
这几
spirits for
年
many
身体
years
越
and her
来越
health has
不好。
deteriorated. Mr. Leicester heaves a heavy sigh. He looks sorrowful and dejected.
奥古斯都郁
Something
金
as
香这
beautiful
样
as
美
the
丽
Semper
的
Augustus
事
should not
物，
disappear
不能
after
在
we
我
are
让他
gone.
在一位真正热
It
爱
is
他
our
的人
wish
手
and our
上传
responsibility
承
to
下
pass
去
it on to someone
既
who
是我
truly
们的
cares
心
for
愿。
it.
至于6月21号这个条件，
As for the matter of the
这
birth
只是我
date,
们两
it
个
was
人的
just a
一点
little bit of
私心而已。
selfishness on our part.
当年我
We
们
could
没有
not
照
save
顾
our
好
child
他，
back then, so now
如
all we
今我
can
们
do
也
is
只能靠
seek
这样
a
的
little
方式。
solace in this. Mr. Leicester lowers his head. It is evidence that the death of their child has left them with an indelible sorrow. Even after more than 2 decades have passed, their grief is still so evident. Marius was silent for a while, then suddenly walks over and crouches down before Miss Leicester. Please do not blame yourself. His voice is soft and there is a gentle smile on his
您也
face.
是知道的。
As you know, my
我
mother
的母
passed
亲
away because
因
she
为身体病
insisted on
弱，
giving birth
却
to
执
me
意
even
生
though she
下
was
我而逝
unwell.
世。我之前也曾
I
有
used
过
to
和
think
你
the
一样
same
的
way
想
as
法
you do. I felt that it was
觉
my
得是
fault
自
that
己
she
害死
died,
了
that I was guilty of
罪
killing
孽
my
深
mother.
重。可后来随着我
But
渐
as I
渐
grew
长
up, I
大，
eventually stopped
我
thinking
便
like
不那
that.
样想了。虽然我没见过您
Though
的
I've
孩
never
子，
met your child,
但同
but
样
as a
身为人
son,
子，
I think
我
he
想
would
这孩
also
子
wish
一
for
定
his
也和
mother to
我
be
一样。
healthy and happy.
活下来的
The
人
ones
是
who get to
幸运
live on are fortunate, so that's why we should do our best to live
更要带
well
着
with
逝
the
者的祝
blessings of
福，
those who are gone.
努力的过好每一天。
Miss Leicester is very emotional after hearing his words. She gazes at Marius and sobs softly. Thank you.
谢谢。
If my child is still alive, he would be
孩
about
子
the
如果
same
还
age
活
as
着，
you.
我
May I hug you? Of course, you don't need to You don't need to catch your clothing on a bramble bush and stumble into my arms. You can just have a hug, sure. Marius reaches out and gently embraces Miss Leicester's frail form. Please take care of yourself. I will, for my child's sake and my own. After a while, Miss Leicester lets go of Marius and wipes the tears off her face. Alright, as you are the winner of the King game, this book is for you. She hands over the book on her lap to Marius. A Guide to Growing Semper Augustus. Yes, the Semper Augustus has been with us since our first meeting. Typo count 3. 3, count them, 3 typos in this story. It is our life's work. I hope you won't give out its contents easily or exploit it for monetary gain. You gave it to the right person. He's literally like a billionaire. I also hope that with the aid of this book, the two of you can make the seed of love sprout and bloom. Okay, okay. Marius receives the book gratefully. If you have time, we would like to invite you to have dinner with us. I'd love to chat with you more. I'd gladly stay. Marius turns to ask your opinion. What about you? Of course. At the invitation of Miss Leicester, you stay for dinner at Iderson Garden. After dinner, Marius calls Vincent to take you both back. Vincent? For a second, I thought he was referring to Vin. I was like, wait, what? Since when do you call him Vincent? That must be the butler. Okay, yeah. Miss Leicester sees you off at the door, looking reluctant. How time flies. Seeing you reminds me of Karenina. Your mother used to love Semper Augustus very much, too. In my eyes, she was as noble and elegant as a Semper Augustus. Thank you. My mother must have been very happy to have a friend like you. Shishi. She's so cute. Well, come and visit us when you have time. Sure, I will. After a brief farewell, you return to Stella's by car. This car interior, whenever they show a car interior in the game, it reminds me of when I was a valet, because that was like basically, that's like the main time when I would sit in cars like this. Return to Stella's. On your way, Marius looks preoccupied. Are you thinking about your mother? You can always read my mind. Maybe it's because we've known each other for a long time. You can tell me what you're thinking. You'll feel better if you do. I'll listen to anything you have to say. Okay. Marius takes a letter out of the glove compartment and shows it to you. I've never met my mother. Everything I know about her is either from other people's recounts or from my father's diary. Still feel very, very honored and happy to be your son. My mother's love for me has always been here. Every birthday I would receive a gift that my mother has prepared in advance. The gifts are kept locked in a safe and can only be unlocked with a digital key corresponding to my age. My mother is interacting with me in her own way, keeping me company as I grow up. I feel my mother's thoughts with each birthday present. For example, this year, my mother's gift to me is the Semper Augustus. But in order to receive the gift, I have to work hard for it. So that's why you followed the letter and came to Iderson Garden in search of a guide to growing Semper Augustus. So that's why this morning you said you're here for a small errand. You weren't just stalking me. And when I heard from Miss Leicester that my mother also loved Semper Augustus, I wished she could still be alive. That way I can plant Semper Augustus and give them to my mother in person, and tell I would her that I love her very much. Okay, maybe he's just very emotional right now and he's tripping over his words, right? He sinks into the seat. He lowers his gaze as if he's surrounded by a fog of sadness. You can't help tapping the back of his hand and comforting him in a whisper. It's okay. The tulip is an ornamental plant and it is a symbol of blessing. We can grow it together sometime. When the Semper Augustus bloom next year, we can give them to your mother. She'll receive your love and blessings in heaven. Marius holds your hand. You said that. His eyes light up again. No taking it back, okay? Okay, I will. And I'll also tell my mother that I found someone who means a lot to me. Oh, you don't do this. Come on. The love and happiness that my mother wanted to give me are gradually coming closer and closer. His burning gaze envelops you. Your flustered heartbeat is drumming in your ears. You don't know how to answer Marius. Fortunately, Marius changes the topic. Come to the Von Hagen estate tomorrow. Let's plant the Semper Augustus bulbs in our back hill. Okay, I'm assuming that's not a euphemism. The next morning, you go to the Von Hagen estate. Marius receives you with dark circles under his eyes. What did you do last night? Since we parted, you barely look awake. Marius yawns lazily. I went home last night and spent the whole night reading a guide to growing Semper Augustus. Was it fruitful? I'll have to try it out to know for sure. Marius picks up the toolkit that he has prepared in advance, along with a watering can and two small shovels.
东西都准备好了，
Got everything. Let's go to the back
我
hill.
们去后。
Oh, nice. I honestly kind of thought that this was gonna come to a conclusion like relatively soon after like the game ended. And that's kind of nice that they're taking their time with it to tie it up. Yeah. It's early in the morning, and the mist has not yet dispersed. You and Marius pick a spot on... Okay, I can't turn that into a song parody. You and Marius pick a spot on the back hill. What do we do now?
先松土。
Let's loosen the soil first.
手机
According
上
to the
说，
book, the
土
soil
壤
must
除
be
了肥
fertile,
沃之
but
外，
it also
透
needs
气
to be
性也
well
好。
aerated. The two of you crouch down and start loosening the soil. After a long time, you finally finish preparing 20 square meters of soil. What's next? Marius gets the book out of his bag and takes a
接着
look.
我们要挖几个10厘米深
We
的
need
小
to dig
洞，
a few
每
small
个洞
holes
里
around
放入
3
一
inch
颗
deep
特
and
殊
put a
处理
specially
过的奥
processed
斯多
Semper
印象
Augustus
球。
bulb inside. Processed bulb?
这是至关重
Well,
要的
this is a very crucial
好
step.
在
I
我
prepared
昨
it
夜
in
已经提
advance
前
last
处理
night.
好了。
Ooh, Marius takes your hand and puts a few Semper Augustus tulip bulbs on your palm.
你知道吗？
You
这些
know,
种
each of
子
these bulbs
每一
contains
颗
a
都蕴
unique
含着
life.
它们沉睡
They
蓄
sleep
意
and store energy
就是
until
为
the
了等待绽
conditions are
放的
right.
那一刻。
Marius gazes at you. The early morning sunshine falls lightly upon his head. His eyes are gentle and affectionate.
我非常开心，
I'm
能和
very
你一
happy
起
that I
将
can
这些
plant these
种
bulbs
子，
with
希
you.
望它们绽
I
放
hope
时
that when they bloom,
陪
you'll
在
still
我
be by
身
my
边。
side. I will. You hold the Semper Augustus bulbs in your hands like you're holding a promise. Oh. At noon, the morning mist disperses and the air is filled with the smell of the earth. You put the bulbs into the holes one by one and cover them with soil.
好，
It's done. Marius wipes the sweat off his hair. He carries the water can back and forth to make sure the soil is well hydrated.
希望这些种球
I hope the
能
bulbs
接
can
受风雨
survive
洗礼，
and see the
迎
sun,
接阳光，
and
在
that
阿
they
弗
can
洛狄特
thrive
女
with
神
the
的祝福
blessings of the
下
goddess
顺利
Aphrodite.
生长、绽放。
Yes, everything that you hope for will come true. Standing in the gentle breeze under the warm and lovely sun, you and Marius smile at each other. Story notice. End. We've reached the end. Oh shit. Video
哎呀
call.
怎么现在才吃午饭？今天工作很忙吗？
Why did you have lunch so late? A lot of work today?
哦，那就好。我在外地出差，刚才在车站看见阿弗洛狄特女神
I'm
像
on a，business
突
trip
然
and I
就
saw the
想起来。
statue of Aphrodite at the station just now. It suddenly reminded me of you.
怎么说呢？还挺震撼的
It was
雕
truly
塑师以卓
mind-blowing.
越
The
的技巧
sculptor
复刻了她
recreated her
和谐而
elegant
优美
body
的
shape
体
with
态。
excellency. This is exactly the kind of FaceTime call I hope to have with my significant other. If you're watching, D. No, I'm just kidding.
残缺的上
Yes,
肢
the missing
反而
arms
构成了
actually
一种独
presented
特
a
的美。
unique form of
人体
beauty.
结构与
The
动态
body
变化，
structure and its
充
dynamic
分体现了人
variation
的
fully
内在生命
manifested
力与
humans'
精
inner
神智慧。
vitality and wisdom. Go on.
我一直觉得
I
它
always
是古
view
典
her
艺
as
术
the
的最
highest
高境
standard
界
of，classical arts,
高贵端
always so
庄，
noble,
肃
elegant,
穆而
solemn,
伟
and
大。
great. And in Hades, she gives great buffs, great boons.
原来你
You have
也
the
有这
same
种感
feeling.
觉。
Does that mean our souls resonate with
那
each other?
我们，你不想回答也没
You
有
don't have
关
to
系。
answer. I
我
already
已
see
经
the
从你的
answer
表
on your
情里
face.
猜到了答案。我没系统的学过雕刻技巧
I've，never learned
只
how
是
to
在上
carve
古典艺术
formally,
课
just
时
bits
简
and
单了解
pieces
一
from
下。
classical arts class.
有尝试雕
I
刻
tried
过，
carving
但
before,
是
but I
手
was
法
so
过于稚嫩，
inexperienced that the
成
finished
品与
product
预
turned out
期
very
相
different
差
from
很
my
大。
expectation. Can I just say I like how he keeps his earrings in his like ear jewelry like when he wears a suit. Like, I don't know.
没谦虚，实话实说而已。
I'm not trying to be humble.
过，
However, if you
倘若有
volunteer
你
to
做
model
模
for
特，
me, my
我的
carving
雕刻
skills
技
shall
巧
improve
一定可以
greatly for
长进
sure.
不少。
No doubt. No
没
kidding,
开
I'm
玩笑，
serious.
我是认真，求之不得。
Can't wait
而
for
且
it. I've just
为了
decided
感
to
谢
give
你给
you
我
a
当模
thank you
特，
present for
我决定送你一
volunteering.
份
Is
礼
it
物。
S chips? Is it Is it
是阿弗洛狄特女神像的照
okay?
片
It's a picture of the statue of
虽然无
Aphrodite.
法
That's
将雕
fine.
塑
That's
的立
great.
体感和
That's
细节展现的淋漓尽致
exactly what I wanted.
但作为
Although
纪
it
念
doesn't
物
show every
还是不
detail
错
of the
的
statue in depth, it's still a pretty good souvenir.
哎，跟我客气什么？
Miss, you're too
才几
formal.
天没见啊，
There's no need for that
就把
between
我
us.
当外人了。好，回去见
Okay, see you later.
拜拜。
Bye bye. Super cute, TBH. Let's gain some affection and S chips. All right. I liked it.